What does it feel like to get hit by a freight train wearing gloves? In the brutal theater of heavyweight boxing, power isn't just an advantage, it's a weapon of mythic proportions. Some men are born with it. Others refine it into an art form. From one-punch erasers to relentless juggernauts, the heavyweight division has been shaped and shaken by titans who could change the course of a fight with a single swing. This isn't about records or resumes. This is about raw, unapologetic force. These are the 10 hardest punchers in heavyweight history, fighters whose fists were feared, whose knockouts were legendary, and whose power left a trail of fallen giants and unforgettable moments. Buckle up. You're about to feel the impact. Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber's bombs. In the modern era of heavyweight chaos, one man has stood above the rest in raw, terrifying power, Deontay Wilder. With a knockout percentage flirting with perfection, 40 of his 41 wins coming by stoppage, Wilder doesn't just win, he detonates opponents. It's almost unfair. Lean and wiry, he doesn't have the bulk of a Foreman or the snarling menace of a Tyson, but when Wilder uncorks that overhand right, time stands still. Ask Luis Ortiz, who was comfortably outboxing Wilder before being vaporized. Ask Dominic Breazeale, who barely survived 137 seconds. Wilder's power isn't just physical, it's surgical chaos. With 30 knockouts inside 3 rounds, he redefined what danger looks like in a boxing ring, proving that when the Bronze Bomber throws, the canvas calls. Earnie Shavers, the Godfather of heavy hands. Before Wilder, there was Earnie Shavers, a man whose fists carried the weight of legends. With 68 knockouts and 74 wins and a 92% KO rate, Shavers was boxing's walking thunderstorm. His legacy is built not on titles, but on terror. Just ask Muhammad Ali, who famously said fighting Shavers was like getting hit with a sledgehammer. Shavers didn't bother with the later rounds. 51 of his knockouts came in the first 3. Ken Norton was dismantled, Jimmy Ellis folded. Even when he lost, as against Larry Holmes, he still nearly decapitated his opponent with one right hand. Shavers may not have worn the crown, but his punch power was gospel, a mythical force that continues to haunt highlight reels and echo in the cautionary tales of trainers everywhere. George Foreman, the Anvil in gloves. When George Foreman stepped into the ring, he didn't box, he bludgeoned. With 68 knockouts across 2 separate careers and an 89% KO rate, Foreman was the embodiment of heavyweight destruction. In the 70s, he steamrolled Joe Frazier and Ken Norton with a terrifying combination of brute strength and ruthless efficiency. Frazier hit the canvas 6 times in 2 rounds, and Norton folded like a lawn chair. But Big George wasn't done. After a decade away from the sport, he returned in his 40s and iced Michael Moorer with one thunderous right hand to become the oldest heavyweight champion ever. His power aged like a wrecking ball, slow, inevitable, and completely devastating. Even sparring with Foreman was a health hazard. Fighters didn't just lose to him, they survived him. Rocky Marciano, the Relentless Mauler. Rocky Marciano wasn't built like a Greek god, he wasn't slick or fast. But when it came to knockout power, he was a bulldozer with fists. Undefeated at 49-0 with 43 KOs, Marciano combined relentless pressure with a right hand nicknamed Susie Q, and Susie had a vicious bite. He ended 23 fights within 3 rounds, including that unforgettable one-punch erasure of Jersey Joe Walcott to win the heavyweight title. Archie Moore and Roland Lastarza felt the storm too. What made Marciano truly terrifying wasn't just his power, it was his refusal to take a step back. He broke opponents mentally and physically, drowning them in a flood of punches until only one man stood. His KO record is a monument to stamina, grit, and violent willpower, wrapped in a 5'10" frame with thunder in both hands. Vitaly Klitschko, the Steel Chancellor. With a jaw like granite and fists forged in Eastern European iron, Vitaly Klitschko wasn't just a knockout artist, he was a fortress that punched back. Sporting a monstrous 87% KO rate and 41 knockouts in 45 wins, Klitschko didn't rely on speed or flair. He broke you down, methodically, clinically, and without emotion. His 27 early round finishes weren't explosive flurries, they were precise executions. Fighters like Corey Sanders, Samuel Peter, and Danny Williams found themselves outgunned and outmaneuvered, undone by a man who rarely lost a round, let alone a fight. He was never knocked down, never outclassed, and only stopped due to injuries. Klitschko's power wasn't wild, it was inevitable. Like a chess grandmaster with a sledgehammer, he didn't just beat you, he dismantled you. Mike Tyson, the human tornado. When Mike Tyson entered the ring, it wasn't a fight, it was a controlled demolition. At his peak, Iron Mike was boxing's most violent storm, knocking out 44 opponents with frightening speed and ferocity. With 35 knockouts inside 3 rounds and a career KO rate of 88%, Tyson didn't give you time to think, breathe, or survive. Trevor Berbick was bounced around like a pinball. Michael Spinks was erased in 91 seconds. Tyson's power wasn't just raw, it was paired with cat-quick reflexes and technique honed by Cus D'Amato's peekaboo system. He was 5'10" of coiled rage, a predator with purpose. For a window in the late 80s, Tyson was untouchable, walking into arenas not just to win, but to hurt, humiliate, and hypnotize the world with the art of destruction. Joe Frazier, the left hook from hell. Joe Frazier didn't come to dance, he came to destroy. A relentless pressure fighter with an 84% KO rate, Frazier was the definition of controlled fury. His calling card? A left hook so savage it changed careers. Just ask Jimmy Ellis or Bob Foster, both victims of Smokin' Joe's inside warfare. Frazier didn't waste punches. He dug to the body, walked through fire, and then uncorked that hook like a scythe through wheat. In the fight of the century, he dropped Muhammad Ali in the 15th round with a left that echoed through history. Frazier's 27 knockouts in 32 wins weren't just wins, they were soul-snatching finishes. He made every inch of the ring his war zone, and once he got inside, it wasn't a boxing match, it was a punishment session. Lennox Lewis, the precision punisher. Lennox Lewis didn't get mad, he got even, violently. With a towering frame and a 78% knockout rate, Lewis fused technical brilliance with game-ending power. He ended 32 of his 41 wins inside the distance, often with a jab right-hand combo so precise it felt like watching a sniper at work. He avenged both of his losses by knockout. Hasim Rahman with a single-shot payback from hell, and Oliver McCall by systematic beatdown. He sent Michael Grant crashing 3 times in 1 round, and when he finally got Tyson, he picked him apart before finishing the job. Lewis was a tactician with thunder in his gloves, a man who made every punch count. His knockouts weren't wild, they were warnings. Underestimate Lennox, and you leave the ring horizontal. Sonny Liston, the Grim Reaper of the ring. Before Tyson terrorized and Foreman flattened, Sonny Liston cast the first long shadow over the heavyweight division. With an 84-inch reach and a jab that felt like a right hand, Liston wasn't just powerful, he was oppressive. Packing a 78% KO rate and 39 knockouts in 50 wins, Liston didn't just beat opponents, he broke them. He decimated Floyd Patterson twice in the opening round, and Cleveland Williams got brutalized by that bone-jarring jab and sledgehammer right. 30 of his knockouts came in the first 3 rounds, many before his opponent had even warmed up. But it wasn't just his power, it was the fear he brought with him. Walking to the ring like a mob enforcer, Liston made you think twice before the bell even rang. He was the original heavyweight boogeyman, and when he hit, you stayed hit. Wladimir Klitschko, the clinical crusher. Wladimir Klitschko was a heavyweight surgeon with dynamite in his right hand. With 53 knockouts in 64 wins and a 77% KO rate, Vlad wasn't flashy, but he was ruthlessly efficient. His jab was a rangefinder, his footwork economical, and once the right hand landed, it was lights out. He took apart Chris Bird twice, flattened Samuel Peter, and sent Kubrat Pulev into orbit with a single left hook. 24 of his knockouts came in the early rounds, but he was just as deadly late. Critics once questioned his chin, but under Emanuel Steward's guidance, Klitschko became a master of dominance by discipline. He reigned for a decade, imposing a cold, calculated violence. He didn't come for wild brawls, he came to outthink, outbox, and outblast. When Wladimir Klitschko found his rhythm, he didn't just win. He ended careers, one precise bomb at a time. 10 boxing icons, one terrifying common thread, fight-ending, reality-bending power. From Wilder's missile of a right hand to Foreman's clubbing wreckage and Tyson's whirlwind assaults, these heavyweights didn't just win, they demolished. Their knockouts weren't just results, they were warnings, echoes that still rumble through boxing history. But here's the question we're all left with. Who had the most devastating punch of them all? Was it the speed, the timing, the sheer brute force, or something deeper, more primal? Debate it, rewind it, relive it. But one thing's for sure, when these men threw leather, they didn't just chase victory, they made history.